Non so se ci sono delle domande, se proseguiamo. Allora, volevo dire solo un inciso che attualmente si stanno facendo degli sforzi anche a livello del Comune per riuscire a trovare anche un accordo con la Camera di Commercio per superare questi aspetti, soprattutto dell'iscrizione all'albo dei gestori ambientali. E poi anche durante questo periodo in cui è iniziato il progetto, il Ministero dell'Ambiente è stato tenuto informato del progetto e degli sviluppi e devo dire che il nuovo decreto attuativo che è uscito in parte tiene conto proprio dei suggerimenti che provenivano proprio dal progetto. Passo adesso la parola a Fiene Grieger della ISV, il partner tecnico che ha fatto un'analisi sulle best practice in Europa. La presentazione è in inglese, ma penso che tutti sapete l'inglese, quindi non c'è problema.
Grazie Anna Rita for introducing. Good morning everybody once again. Buongiorno. Unfortunately I will speak in English. I hope it is okay for you and I hope you like it more than I speak in German. So let me just introduce myself and the institution I work for. So I brought with me some slides about the ISW, what we are doing and what our main focus is, and that you get an idea of who we are. So ISW was founded in 1991, so this was very short time after the reunification. It was founded in Halle. This is also the office where I work. This is located in Saxony-Anhalt, central Germany, so it's a quite nice region, and maybe you know us. I know some of you know the region already. So we are an independent non-profit research institution. So this is quite important to talk about, because in Germany we have very many huge institutions which are funded by the federal government, such as Fraunhofer and Leibniz, and maybe you know some of these institutions, but we are independent and working on projects we develop with partners such as Weenmodels. As I already said, the head office is in Halle Sala, and we also have some other locations in Magdeburg, which is the capital of Saxony-Anhalt, and Berlin. At the moment we have approximately 60 staff members, which include the academic staff and the administrative staff. About what we do, application-oriented and interdisciplinary research in different fields, such as regional economic development, structural policy, educational and technology research. So this is quite a broad field we're working on. We do studies, we do publications, editorial work, workshops, stakeholder involvement, dissemination, activities, presentations, and also network and cluster management. This is the area I also work in, and also funding consultancy for companies and also for public institutions, and also we do scientific monitoring of different processes in the areas I mentioned already. So we have a sort of broad network and have close collaboration activities with different institutions and stakeholders. So this is also why we have the sort of networking part in the Weenmodels Project, because we are quite good connected across Europe due to our EU projects we run. So just some examples: federal and state level ministries, the European Commission, but also the Committee of the Regions, companies, chambers, associations, trade unions, universities and other research and science institutions, regions, municipalities, but also employment agencies and educational institutions, and also, as for the funding, we also do cooperation activities with the development banks owned by the federal and state governments, and of course with the EU. So I just listed some of the EU projects we're involved in. I don't want to read it out. As you can see, there are many different areas we're working on. Weenmodels I put on the first step because this is quite an important project for us, and we're very happy to be part of this consortium. The TIER project was mainly about prevention and fight against crime. So we had a sort of medical aspect on that to prevent terrorism and how to deal with threat identification and emergency response, but also trial project. This was more about the threats along the logistic chain. Some other logistic projects, Chemlog, I don't want to go into detail, but you might have an idea of the projects we are part of. So now I come to our part of in the Weenmodels Project, our best practice study. This was an action which was done at the very beginning of the project. So we did an analysis of European best practice solutions for logistics, and we covered the countries Germany, Sweden and Scotland. And the aim was to describe various approaches of logistics in a European comparison, and we specifically focused on the policy framework, the collection and transport systems, the return system, but also the finance system, and we try to work out some good or best practice activities we think they are worth to present also in the Weenmodels project. So this is how it looked like. I brought it with me. Unfortunately, it's in English. As I said, this was completed in the first steps of the project in May 2014. We had a little delay, but I think it was okay in the end. We published it in German and English language. It's about 66 pages, but with statistical parts and also with the literature as usual. So we printed it on demand, such as for workshops or seminars, such like this one today, and it is also available on the website. So if you're interested in, please let me know or write me an email or just click at the Weenmodels website. So we sort of had a look at the collection rates in Europe to have a basis to work with, and the basis we worked with were the statistics of Eurostat, covering the year 2010. In 2013, when we started the study, there were no fresher data available, but here you can see that, oh no, you can't see. The graph shows, this also written in the study, the graph shows the different amount of collections or collected per inhabitant, and it shows the very different rates across Germany, so across Europe, excuse me. So the Scandinavian countries are very good at collection, and Germany is right in the middle, and the southern and eastern Europe is need to improve according to the new or to the WE directive of the EU. So maybe you can, this one is better, I think. So this was the data covered for 2012. The first column is the average of the EU 27, and then you have the different countries. You can see the average, also kilogram per inhabitant. So you see Norway right on the right side. This is really amazing what they achieve in a way. So the collections rate are really high, and even they were also high before the WE directive became active. So I think Anna-Rita already said something about the overall frame of our best practice study, so the WEEE directive. So the purpose was to contribute to sustainable production and consumption, and of course to prevent WEEE, and if we cannot prevent WEEE, then we have to improve the reuse, recycling and recovery, and there are quite high strict requirements, which Anna-Rita already talked about earlier on, so I won't read it out again. So now I come to the different collection schemes. In our study, we worked on the pickup systems and also the drop-off systems. So we have very different ways to get the WEEE collected, as you know. So pickup systems might be linked to bulky waste, but also take back by distributors or traders. But you also have as I know in Genoa, the sort of mobile version, so the sort of truck that drives around and collects the WEEE, especially the small and medium-sized WEEE. And the other scheme is a drop-off system, so customers bring their WEEE to recycling centers, or they use the containers, or return it to the trader where they bought the electronic device. So as you might know, it is feasible and advisable to combine pickup and drop-off systems, and with a specific approach of every region, you have to choose the most suitable collecting scheme or the combination of different collection schemes, which depends on the catchment area, but also the population density, the spatial conditions, but also the public acceptance. If the people are willing to bring their WEEE to containers or to collection centers, or if it's better to collect the WEEE from the households. So now I want to talk about the best practice in Halle, which I want to present to you. So we have a combination of different collection schemes. We have 3 drop-off collection centers for WEEE, but not only for WEEE, but also for WEEE. We have the mobile hazardous waste unit, so the solution with a truck that drives around, and we have 34 containers for small WEEE collection. So as I understood in the earlier presentations, especially the small and medium-sized WEEE is what most communities and municipalities are focusing on to increase the collection rates of small WEEE. So which we found very interesting was that our drop-off centers have very high or have very long weekly opening hours, an average of 80 hours per week. So the customers are, it's very comfortable for the customers to bring their WEEE to the drop-off centers, and the average in Germany is 60 hours. So we have quite a long opening hour in Halle, and the data I collected for you for 2015. This was not part of our best practice study because, as you know, it was finished in 2014. So here you can see that there are quite large amounts of WEEE collected in Halle. So I don't have to read out the tons, I think, but I think for 1 year it is a quite good rate. So what we also found out was that when you combine different collection schemes, it's also it's always the question if you withdraw the increasing amount from the residual waste or not. So we had a look at the data, and it says that installing the containers did not lead to shifts in quantities from drop-off collection centers to containers, and the regained resources were withdrawn from the residual waste. So the increase was a real increase and not a decrease in other waste categories. So another Another solution I want to present to you is the primary treatment facility in Halle. This is a public partnership with the municipality and a private company. And here you can see that people separate and decomposite we of the collection groups 3 and 5. So as for our on-site visit, Anna Rita, I hope that we can have a look at the facility and on the other aspects I already talked about. So not to only talk about Germany, but also about the Swedish solution. We worked on a best practice in Gävle, which is a Swedish municipality with 160 inhabitants. And when we started the research, they already had 13 collection centers, specialized trucks, and fixed routes, also combining drop-off and take centers. And the WE share of household waste was decreasing, but the Swedish people said it's still too high, so they had to develop new ideas together with different partners. And I'm not sure, I saw Co-op in Italy as well, so I don't know if you have these sort of containers as well. So they developed a cooperation with the Co-op shops, and they started with 28 new collection points, and today, or as of I think end of 2015, there are more than 50 self-service containers established in the Co-op stores, so that customers can buy something and also bring their WE, a small WE or medium-sized WE, to the drop-off container. So the price is already fixed for the for Co-op. So it's I think 20 euros, quite a good price, and the emptying is every 4 to 6 weeks. So this is specifically for the small WE and bulbs. And they have very good experience with these containers. So they started a large-scale information campaign and targeted marketing, and this led to a very high awareness and the knowledge where the containers are to be found and how to properly use it. When we finished our best practice study, we also held a European best practice workshop just to get to know more about how other countries and regions work on this issue. So we had 30 representatives from 7 European countries, Italy, of course, Belgium, Portugal, Norway. The very busy collectors from Norway were there, from Spain, from Poland, and our German partners. And so the European experts presented very different aspects of WE collection and identified their regional practices, practical solutions. And we focused on the collection flows, the community initiatives, and also the collection and treatment centers, but also, which is part of the Weenmodels Project as well, the communication marketing programs, which might be part of our workshop today, later on, I think, as well. So the most crucial thing, I think, is the awareness raising, and there we had very good impressions and ideas from the other partners, and we were very happy that the Ministry of Agriculture and Environment of Saxony-Anhalt supported and hosted this event in Brussels. So this was quite a good event, and I think it's very important to stay in contact with these partners to learn more about their increasing rates. So besides the best practice study, we're still, of course, working on that project. As I already said, we plan an on-site visit in Halle in combination with our next steering committee, which will be in autumn this year. And yes, of course, we have further consultation with public waste disposal operators in Saxony-Anhalt, which might be part of the consortium, the on-site visit in Halle as well. And of course, we do the networking and know-how transfer and try to disseminate the Weenmodels activities and results in a good way. So yeah, I hope we can stay in contact with you on this matter, and looking forward for any discussions or ideas, or if you want to gain some more information about what we do, please let me know, and I will be happy to provide it. Thank you very much.